I'm falling further and further behind. This is outrageous. It's unfair. All because of the inability of my system to connect to an NTP server. What on earth have I messed up? How could I have messed up things so badly that my time is out of sync by 3 minutes? This is the sort of issue one would deal with using mechanical clocks or something. Not a damn PC connected to the internet and capable, at least in principle, to check its time. Seriously, NTP is a solved issue. This is... what have I done? Blasted thing. Very well. Never mind any of that. Never mind. Serenity now. Serenity now. All right. I had a plan. A semblance of a plan. The plan was there, and the plan was kinda decent. With certain flaws. Granted, with certain flaws, but it was decent in principle. Some things were good about it. Okay, it might have been a horrible plan, but at least at the lowest difficulty level available, it might just work. If I try enough. Okay, here's the thing. There are 2 threats that are effectively existential. What is the plan? Well, let me tell you what the plan is. First of all, there is his Lord and Majesty roaming around over here. He's got an outsized army of many, and I do mean many paladins. If he ever goes to the southeast, I'm, to put it mildly, in a pickle. He'll take this castle and I will be unable to take it back anytime soon. So if he goes over here, I'm ruined. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, there's a guy over here called Ambrose. He's got a strong army and he's heading west, mercilessly. So, unless I prepare in time for his arrival, I am doomed. I'm going to lose these castles and we'll have a rough time taking them back. Hypothetically, there's a solution to this problem if the AI is stupid enough. That is, unlike human beings, they can just refuse to commit to a solution and can switch and optimize. What do I mean by that? Actually, this is, I do believe the most famous instantiation of that is the fabled amphibious assault problem from Civilization 2 or something. But the general principle is, if there are 2 ways he can reach my castle, either by going to the west directly, or by going to the east, going through the portal and being spat out over here. If he is about equidistant between these, and I can keep on blocking and unblocking the portal at will. Actually, it doesn't have to be equidistant, but whatever. If he's closer by the portal than he is on foot, then I can unblock the portal, at which point he'll go towards the portal. And at the very last second, I can block the portal again. At which point he'll figure, okay, I think I need to go west on foot. So he will go west, but as long as he's closer via the portal, well, the portal to be unblocked, then by going west directly on foot, I can unblock the portal again, force him to try and go through the portal again, rinse and repeat, and he will keep bouncing back like a pinball. What are they called? Or a ping pong ball. Whatever, any sort of ball. He'll just keep on bouncing back indefinitely, ever indecisive. At least that's a hypothesis. That's how AI tends to be coded. If it's actually just looking for the shortest path, and if you keep switching what the shortest path is. It's dumb as hell, but hypothetically I could do that. It might be too late for that because he's too far to the west, but at least in principle that's one way of solving it. Alright, so that's the southeast and the northwest covered. What about this area in the middle? Well, I do have my trump card over here. I do have Draconia with all of her bone dragons. And when I say all of her bone dragons, I do mean a handful. That's all she's got. She's got 7 bone dragons, which isn't a lot. Now, the strongest part about all of this, of course, is the Holy Hammer, which grants her 5 points of attack, so she's at a whopping 9. That's outrageous. Her stats are just mind-blowing. At least for a relatively low-level hero, I guess. If she meets up with the king, whatever his name was, Lord something, she's going to be just torn to shreds. But every other hero out there, any other hero out there, in fact, as far as I can tell, is going to be significantly weaker. So as long as we don't have to fight the king quite yet, we should do fine. Now, she's got the Rod of Electricity, or whatever that's called. The Lightning Rod. Well, yeah, duh. Which means that as long as she learns the Lightning Bolt spell, or indeed the Chain Lightning spell, she's going to do a tremendous amount of damage because she's a wizard, a necromancer in particular. Well, not a wizard, that's a technical term in the game. So, with 8 points of spell power, she could just blast things to bits, but she doesn't know Lightning Bolt yet. We would have to build a mage guild. And that comes with its own problems, namely the fact that that costs lumber, and we don't have the lumber. Another problem, another wrench in our gears, there are all these bone dragons, and she's got diplomacy. But I don't think she's got a big enough army to pick these bone dragons up. If she could just waltz up to them, chat them up, and assimilate them into her fold, that would be brilliant. She would just get the bone dragons. But I don't think she can. Now, if I were to just go all the way back and try to get those bone dragons and fail, now that would be too much of a waste of time. I would be setting myself back and I would not be able to come back from this, presumably. Of course, if it is possible to pick them up right here, right now, and I don't do that, then quite possibly I am also setting myself back and also will not be able to come back from that. So any mistake I make at this point, if I do anything wrong, I'm probably gonna lose. Not particularly comforting, but it is what it is, as they say. Alright, so my current plan is instead to send her around through here. We have seen that the heroes, the enemy heroes, are somewhere around here. Presumably the enemy castles are also there. We've seen them in the previous attempt as the other faction. So we should be able to take them over. And once we do, they're gonna work for us, they're gonna generate us resources and armies, we can buy heroes off of them, etc. There's gonna be some progress. And of course, if we take them away from our enemies won't have them as well. So that's an additional bonus on top of that. It's not just that we'll get all of that for ourselves, we'll take that away from our enemies. That's why things tend to snowball so much. Because when you take over, you don't just gain, you also deprive. So that's basically double the value. Which is why I say diplomacy is so valuable. After all, diplomacy means that not only do you not have to fight the monster, you get the monster on your side. Now, if a powerful enough hero comes around and I can't deal with that hero using Draconia, I might as well restart, I guess. In that sort of circumstance, I'll just be doomed. This guy is stuck over here, he's doing nothing because he's a cork, as I put it. He's just standing there, blocking off access. So without further ado, and that was much ado about nothing, we might as well go ahead and explore. And now there's a watchtower over here. I think I should flag the alchemist lab first, but yeah, let's go for the watchtower a tiny bit later. Here's Volcania that we can absolutely take over. That's pathetic false. There's also the blue tent. Is there anything in blue that we can possibly visit anytime soon? Anything? What's the blue barrier? There we go. There's a blue barrier right there. And the lifts dealing, I mean, as a terrain, but I mean, it's unseemly, isn't it? But at the same time, that's what he's doing. And yeah, I've gone into great detail on how hypothetically, if I were to put him, you know, aside, then hypothetically, if the pathfinding is implemented in a very naive way, Ambrose could bounce back like a pinball between trying to go through the lifts in order to reach the castles and trying to go west to reach the castle as the thing becomes blocked, you know, if you block it at the last possible second. I don't know if that's the way it's coded in. It is indeed the naive solution, but it's an obvious solution to a given problem. Just try to figure out which way is the shortest and then send the hero on the shortest path. It works in almost every circumstance, except that sort of circumstance. And of course, a human being wouldn't bounce around indefinitely. You're gonna piss someone off and he's eventually going to commit to one solution or another. But of course, you can do that sort of thing with AI. Actually, This is the sort of thing I guess AI is either famous for, or I guess under certain circumstances infamous for. Or just quit. Yeah, exactly. But a human being ultimately will notice, hold on, I'm stuck in an infinite loop. This is hell, and things are not gonna get any better if I keep on doing what I'm doing. Yes, and a human being will either stop us or try to do something different instead of continuing on a course of action that is simply not working, right? Man! Now I began to question my humanity at this point. Why do I keep uploading stuff on YouTube if it's not working then? Maybe I'm not a human after all. Quite a brave hypothesis, and yet ultimately more and more plausible. But yes, indeed. Yes, even if there's nothing more to this attempt and to this particular try, well, this particular part of this particular attempt, I think that's a nice enough intuition that human beings ultimately don't keep on doing things that don't work. But then again, well, you could push this reasoning further and we would arrive at the conclusion that they kinda do. They have to. Because ultimately everything is pointless. So if people will to refuse to do pointless things, then in the end, terminally we would conclude that nothing is worth doing and we would do nothing. And yet we do something. I'm still blown away by the fact that the myth of Sisyphus, something that I have learned during the course of my studies, has just blown up as a concept, as a meme. Logos have mercy. Oh, hello there! Yeah, speaking of staples of existential philosophy, here's Astra. Now, how does that relate to anything? Oh yes, of course, per aspera ad astra. Well, here's Astra. Alright, I need to calm down. She's mostly got very puny units. Tier 1, Tier 2, nothing major, nothing particularly mind-blowing. Look at this, a pack of peasants, come on. A horde of sprites, big whoop. A throng of dwarves. Never underestimate the dwarves is what I've kept telling myself over and over when playing this game. They don't have much attack, but my goodness are they sturdy. They can withstand dragon fire, they can stand up to basically anything. There's one thing I know. Lots of well, those are not rangers even, they're not upgraded, so they're just archers basically. And then upgraded orc chiefs. A pack of them. The pack isn't particularly impressive. Pack is more than several. Several is 5 to 9, right? Few 1 to 4. Several is 5 to 9, so a pack is going to be 10 to 19. 3 different creature towns though. Low morale, low tier units, but this is not my primary hero, right? This is Phineas over here at level 7. And what does he have? Well, not that much actually. This is a relatively puny army as well. And she's got a throng of dwarves, that's tier 2, and that's, I can't even... How much is that exactly? A horde is going to be up to, well, level... It might be respectable, so his stats might be reasonably beefy, but, I mean, come on, can we actually take on the dwarves? She is a sorceress, so spellcasting is definitely a possibility and not a particularly remote one. I think we should just back off. Although for all I know, she's just going to try and chase him down. Poor Phineas. Well, we shall see next turn what she does. I should at least in principle try to get some reinforcements, I guess. There aren't that many units that I can possibly give him though. And trying to get further dwellings is going to be impeded by the fact that I don't really have access to the requisite resources. What a fancy way of putting it. But yes, that is indeed the problem. I just don't have... Or I could just build defenses. What, hunker down and defend against... Ugh. I mean, I have the gold. Might as well. The moat. Alright then, and as far as the problem of whatever his name was, Ambrose, I do believe, we need to head back to Timber Hill. Pronto. Now for the fun bit. Oh look, here's Dimitri! With a few phoenixes. Hello there, Dimitri. The time has come for you to perish, my friend. My skeletons! Oh. I see what's going on here. I see. And you can see that as well, obviously. Obviously, the powerhouse behind this army. Gotta use my prepositions correctly over here. The powerhouse behind this army are all those upgraded elves. Look at them, there's 40 of them. Grand elves, they shoot twice. They deal tremendous damage. And the phoenixes, instead of going for my army, instead of trying to slaughter me, have decided to do what instead? They've decided to defend them. Now, I was about to say I'm not gonna make the same mistake again, even though I've made it oh so many times. I'm going to shoot them first and then blind them. But I can't do that because they're next in line. So if I do actually attack them right here, right now, well, they're gonna shoot back, and it's not gonna be pretty. So let's blind the elves first and foremost. Can't shoot that well if you're blind now, can ya? And yeah, let's attack the phoenixes. Nothing will perish. Wow. Okay, fine. Let's instead attack the silly unicorns. Blah. Also blah. Not to be confused with blah. Very different. Let's slaughter all the phoenixes with all... My goodness, the vampire lords are quite beefy, aren't they? Yeah, there's 52 of them, but look at this! And they replenish their hit points in the process. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, granted, some of this is happening because of the stat disparity, I presume. Because Dimitri over here has got 3 points of attack and 2 points of defense. Whereas, Draconia, the necromancer currently, but ultimately the rightful ruler of the land, has got 9 points of attack and 6 points of defense. Look at those dwarves! The more you have, the more damage they do, the more hit points they replenish. Oh yes! Alright, let's slaughter the... Can we slaughter the elves? Let's slaughter the elves. Oh yes. Down the elves go! Stop attacking my vampire lords. You'll pay for this. Just 3 need to be brought back to unlife, I guess. And that's it, they're back! They're back! Guess who's back? No vampire lords lost. We've only lost 50 skeletons, alas, alas. We got back 20, so we're 30 behind, but they'll do. They'll do. We also got a castle for our trouble, so I think that's more than worth it. Ah, listen to the peaceful music. The only thing missing from this place, well, on one hand the Thieves Guild, on the other hand, obviously the Mage Guild, the Precious Mage Guild. And what do we need? We actually need all the resources. You'd think it would be plentiful for us, but no. Mostly because of Ambrose, the absolute monster, taking the mines away from us. Alright. But the beauty of it is, I now have access to phoenixes, as long as I manage to hold the fort, so to speak. As long as I manage to retain control of this town. Which I should. What's in the Mage Guild? The Summon Boat spell, how precious. Yes, I guess there is a body of water out there, but who's gonna... Knowing my luck, there's probably some sort of an island? There's no way, we've seen the map. There's no island there, is there? Can't remember. Well, either way, might as well march in, learn the spells, and, replenish mana? Possibly. She's got a maximum of 90 spell points. Might as well have her replenish mana. She is a mage after all. I can build the Thieves Guild, I guess. But it seems like an awful waste of lumber. We can get the upgraded mansion back at Spirit City, so we don't have to worry about upgrading our vampires remotely. That's annoying. Can't get the Adobe. Why? What does it require? The hut. Well, oh, we got the moat. Oh, and we need the all, which we do not have. We obviously do not have that. Can't upgrade the Adobe because we don't have the all again. Well, well, well. More and more it seems like we should invest in marketplaces. Ah, and we can't upgrade this to a castle because guess what? We don't have the all. Nor the lumber, by the way. What about this place? Well, this place is precious. We do need to get a second laboratory. So we should go full steam ahead as far as upgrading this little city is concerned. Sheltenberg. It's the one over here. But guess what? We don't have the resources. We obviously don't have the resources. What do we need this time? Oh, we need the Thieves Guild and the Pyramid. And some wood. Well, we will be able to afford the Thieves Guild. We are no longer able to afford the mansion, but we can hypothetically, push comes to shove, actually trade for lumber to get the mansion, to get the mausoleum, and so on. Actually, technically, the mausoleum doesn't even require that. It just requires the Mage Guild Tier 1. So we could get the Mage Guild Tier 1. Yeah, completely waste the effort of getting the Thieves Guild right here, right now. Well, let's not waste it completely. Let's actually have a gander. These are the most powerful heroes for each faction. 12 points of power, 10 points of knowledge. Impressive. Most impressive. Well, well, well. Let's pat ourselves on the back the tiniest of bits now, shall we? Who's got the highest number of towns? This guy. Who's got the highest number of castles? This guy. Who's got the highest number of heroes? This guy again. Who's got the most gold in the treasury? You've guessed it. Now, I don't have the most wood all. Or wood and all taken together. But we are doing relatively well. Now, I don't have the stats to rival Blue over here. I don't have the stats to outrank and outright crush the King, who's got 11 points of attack and 11 points of defense, but it's awfully close. A few more level ups, a few more artifacts, most importantly, and I think Draconia can do it. I was about to say that she might be able to stand up to the usurper, but really... hand on heart, she's the usurper, isn't she? I mean, come on now. Alright, I think that's about it. Well, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. We'll ask... What? Ambrose, what the hell? I think she's just being evil, yes. It's so silly. But yeah, once again, the story is that this guy, Gallivant over here, comes back, and lo and behold, turns out a civil war has managed to break out between his beloved king and his sister. We don't know why. We just know that it did. Incredible. Either way, here's Ambrose. Next to Sheltenberg, he has given up on attacking the barbarians, which has profound consequences, I guess. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because now I obviously have to trek all the way north and deal with Ambrose. Wait, can I actually do that? Last time I tried that, I failed miserably. Calivan's parents thought she was just going through her goth teen phase. Turns out skeletons are forever. Yeah, that's what you get when you buy your daughter necromancy books. You think raising the dead is just something she's gonna do for a reasonable while and then she's gonna get bored. No. It's just a gateway drug. They start out with skeletons and my goodness, lo and behold, a couple of years down the line, bam! Up in smoke goes the kingdom. Because she figures she would make a better ruler of all the living and all the dead. Now everyone keeps claiming there's just a phase. It's never just a phase. It can have lasting consequences. You gotta pay attention to these things. Why can't she be more like her brother? Gallivant over there went ahead and obliterated the pirate menace out at sea. And what is she doing in the meantime? Destabilizing the entire kingdom. Typical. You could probably argue that she's just doing it for attention, but yeah. Alright, now here's the thing. And I don't mean the movie by Carpenter, though. That's somewhere else. I could pick up the Cyclopses from over here. And I don't necessarily need to wait for Ambrose to come over here. It's true, I did try to take him on, and it's true I have failed miserably. However, you know, the more I say it, the more I realize that that's absolutely nonsensical. But let me finish the thought anyway. I could hypothetically take my barbarian hero, whose name is what? Elgon. There we go. I could take Elgon, take the extra Cyclopses, recruit all the units over here, and destroy Ambrose. But, and the one thing stopping me from doing that is the fact that this guy has got zounds of peasants. If someone tells me that's Zins or something, I'm not gonna be a happy camper after the whole gem fiasco. But anyway, zounds of peasants. Think about it. Think about it. If we send Draconia against that, my goodness, we'll be swimming in skeletons. Fresh victims for the ever-growing army of the undead, obviously. Oh, and here's Vesper. So on our way over there, I guess we'll have to slaughter Vesper. Yeah, big whoop. We could also try to visit the tent, but we obviously don't have the time for that. We've got places to go, people to slay. Living dead to raise from the dead. And unto the state of living, well, unliving. Here's Gallivant on his way to eventually try to deliver reinforcements. Oh joy. Yeah, the excitement of this game. It's so frustrating because it's so difficult to iterate on this formula because the winning moves require this tedium. You can try to not play like that, but then you're gonna fail because these things need to get done. And you're the one who needs to do them. So yeah, you have to form these stupid conga lines. But it's annoying. It's obviously and manifestly annoying. But what are you gonna do? Once again, we don't have the all to build the adobe over here in Marsh Home, which is to the southeast, by the way. We could get the upgrades over here in Timber Hill, but we don't need them. We can upgrade the orcs elsewhere. That's not a priority. As far as this place is concerned, you can't turn this into a castle. All you can do is get the upgraded vampires over here. Might as well recruit them right here, right now. You also get some bonus gold. But that's it. That's it. From Big Oak, you just get... What an insensitive name to give to a place you recruit vampires from. I mean, come on. Of all the things, Big Oak? Like, you know, the things they get stabbed with? Yeesh. Might as well name it Big Noose or something. Blackburn, of course, is lovely, except for the fact that I can't upgrade that to a castle. Not quite yet. We have it, and it's useless. What about this place? What about Sheltenberg? Well, it's about to be under attack. But hey, the beauty of it is we have enough lumber to be able to get the mansion. Should we get the mansion? Should we get the moat? Should we even try to defend? Or should we just let it fall into enemy hands and let our enemies, our beloved enemies, actually upgrade this? Should we just let them build more stuff over here? Because that's an option. All cities sound like the Wild West. I still love the idea that you think this looks like a carousel, which it kind of does. We're getting the mansion. We'll have 3 sources of vampire lords. Blur. Yes, blur indeed. Yeah, I could have used the well. I forgot I had the well. Well. There's no way I can hold this. There's obviously no way I can hold this. All I can do is try to go north as quickly as possible and Hope I can catch this guy, and most importantly, hope I can actually defeat him. He's got quite a powerful army. That is a horde of veteran pikemen and so on. Lots of master swordsmen. That's a decent bit. And his stats aren't too shabby either, as far as I can tell. Oh, right, of course. What about this place? Can we, we do have some units to recruit here. Well, let's recruit what's left. To at the very least deny that to our enemies. In principle, I think we should build up the Mage Guild over here to tier 5. Teach Draconia all the spells available here. Hope for the Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt. As soon as she gets that, my goodness, she's gonna tear everything apart with all of her stats combined. I could recruit someone to scout around. I'm not sure that's the best of ideas. Let's leave things be. I'm taking long enough as it is. Every single passing turn. Okay, now we get to see what the... the noise. Either way, Zounds apparently is between 500 and I believe 999 inclusive. So Zounds is what you get before the Legion. Gotta remember that. Zounds, the penultimate thing. Less than 1,000, but quite a lot. And now I know, and now presumably I shouldn't even try to slay the peasants, because I want them for my ever-growing army of the undead. I can't even really slay anything. Ugh, what are his stats? 6 points of attack and 8 points of defense! Whoa, Nelly. Well, this is not gonna... Let's just skip all those stuff. I'm just prolonging the inevitable. Not even prolonging it, well. I'm prolonging my suffering and putting away the putting off the inevitable. There we go. I got the idiom in the end. It's the month of the druid. Yay, hooray, we can recruit new units. There's a hero over there, and there is Castor over here. Hey, I can take Castor on. Yes, I also should get all these precious resources while I still can. Gallivant goes over here and gets everything with the notable exception of the zombies. What about the vampires though? Should I get the upgrade? It's getting cheaper every passing moment, isn't it? But I could get the third tier of the Mage Guild. You know, the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's significantly cheaper to just get the upgrade to the mansion right here, right now, and not have to worry about upgrading the vampires ever again. It's just incredibly tedious. Hold on, am I actually... No, this is fine, this is fine, this is what I'm supposed to take. It's all fine, never mind the few mutant zombies over there. Now let's go to Big Oak, get the few vampires I can get from there, and ultimately try to deliver that to Draconia. Speaking of Draconia... Well, I'm going to have to handle all of them at some point anyway. So do I chase after Vesper, who's pretty much... He's going after Blackburn, isn't he? Or should I go after Ambrose? I think Ambrose is gonna go after me, so... we'll get to fight him in the end anyway. I'm not sure I can even effectively take him on. He's got pretty impressive stats. Actually, if I make good use of blind, I might be able to accomplish something. It's the best hope I have. Yes, and of all the trump cards, I should definitely consider... What's his name again? Elgon. Should consider Elgon over there. And all the things he can do for me. I need to defeat the druids to be able to flag the crystal mine. Again. How annoying. Well, I could just go east. I mean, who's stopping me? Yes, clearly I can recruit all of these units, add them to Ergon's army, and send him on his merry way. Well, of course, with the exception of all those wonderful Orc chiefs. I mean, all the Orcs. I can't really recruit the Orcs. I need to get Orcs, upgrade them to Orc chiefs, and so on. And I need a separate hero for that endeavor, annoying though it may be. But yes, presumably I should take what I have on Elgon and just head east. Since it's safe now. This is presumably going to end in a disaster, but might as well give it a go anyway. Don't really have the resources to continue. Oh, there we go. Wait, could I? No, I could have recruited units here, couldn't I have? I obviously could have. There was a batch of reinforcements available for this week. Well, at least we got the sprites out of the way, I guess. Could we have won this fight otherwise? You know what? I'm actually going to reload. This is rather silly, but no, let's not do that. I couldn't have seen it coming. The threat came out of nowhere, but then again, I didn't scout, so I only have myself to blame. Let's recruit all of this. And with a force of this magnitude, we might actually be able to do something. Also, I can recruit Becky over here. Oh my goodness, Becky, look at this army. It is so big. Ta-da! Oh, and no elves. Well... whatever. I'll recruit them as a secondary force. Now, Becky can obviously learn these spells. I have faith in her. Do I? Should I? Yeah, let's put faith in her. This is a reasonably sized force. And with a hero at the helm, surely we can... Okay, we have a chance of defense. Let's see what happens. Although, obviously, that seems like cheating, doesn't it? Oh, and when you actually recruit a hero over there, guess what? You do not get attacked. What? No, this is Vesper fleeing. Whereas... What? Oh, right, of course. Ambrose, meanwhile, is busy desecrating the cemetery. Of course he is. Now, do kindly keep in mind that if Gallivant perishes at any point, it's game over. So does that. First order of business, let's slay Vesper. First order of business as far as slaying Vesper is concerned. Let's blind the elves. That's becoming a bit of a classic, a bit of a homegrown tradition. No! The elves have been unblinded! Curses! Okay, fine. Let's block the elves instead and slay all the bandits. We're the good guys. Slay all the unicorns. We're still the good guys. Receive no losses. We're the good guys in the sense of being the competent guys. Yes, send Gallivant towards almost certain death. I mean... Look, I could refuse to send him towards almost certain death. Or I could do that. Okay, I'll just save at the very tail end of the turn. First of all, what on earth am I even doing here? Ah, yes, right, of course, collecting orcs. Classic. Okay, fine, get the orcs from here, go upgrade the orcs over here, recruit stuff from over there, hand that over to Elgon. Elgon, supposed to head east, always onto the E. Oh, hello resources! What do we have here? Scrag Hack, on his way back, can't fight the druids, effectively. So he might as well be the one who carts the orcs around. Now, as far as Becky over here is concerned, let's send her to the tent. Anything of note over here? No threats? Okay. Do I send Gallivant over here? I do send Gallivant over here. Let's see what happens. I am prepared to reload. Hold on, can I actually build anything? I should at least try to make sure I try every time I can. There's nothing to build as far as I can. I don't have the resources. I don't have the lumber. Pretty much never do. What if I had the lumber? Because I can presumably trade for lumber someplace. What do I need? At Sheltenberg? I don't have Sheltenberg anymore. What a dreadful thought. Is there any other place I actually want to upgrade? I can't afford the Adobe. There's just... there's too much lumber involved in that. I can't. Can't possibly. Oh, and look at that. Look at that. Ambrose is heading towards Sheltenberg. Kinda. Why is he even going, though? What is wrong with this guy? Is he seriously trying to avoid Galavan? That's rather nonsensical. Right, let's actually hand the troops over to Draconia. The Bone Dragons, bringing the total count to 10. The more I look at this, the more I realize that the trump card in Draconia's hands are probably the Vampire Lords. That's it. That's what she's got going for her. And of course, I dread to imagine what's gonna happen. Let's give experience to Elgan. Oh, more gold. I mean, leadership is not... Do I actually need more gold? I have plenty. Not that I'm willing to trade it away for anything, but I have plenty. I'm just holding it. So maybe I should take leadership instead. But it adds up. We're taking estates. Here's Phineas. Yes, and there's Astra. Thankfully, the king isn't here. What a dreadful prospect that is. The king can return at any point, and once he does, I'll basically be doomed. Becky, get some experience, why don't you? Eagle Eye or luck? Might as well have her get lucky. Who's here? Uncharted, come on. Show me the hero. That's Ariel. Is she level 1? I think she's level 1. Can Becky take Ariel on? That's a pack of unicorns. I'm not sure she can. Well then. Can I, with all the lumber, I just might be able to get something. Now, not in my original town, unless I want the 4th tier of the Mage Guild, which would be nice. Upgraded Adobe, that's cute and everything, but not necessarily what I want. Actually, hold on. I think I know what I want. I think I know what I require. I think I know what I desire. I want an upgrade to Blackburn that'll turn it into a proper castle. And for that, I'm going to need the marketplace briefly. Let's trade for 2 units of lumber. And just like that, bada bing, bada boom. Lo and behold, the castle of Blackburn. Now we're talking, and soon enough we will be cooking with fire. As we get 2 red towers and a plethora of phoenixes. Sizzling. Yeah, but by the same logic, we also have plenty of cyclopses at our disposal, don't we? Do we have 2 pyramids? Yes, we do. We do have plenty of cyclopses. Well, pumping out cyclopses like that, we should probably just either send Elgan over here into action, into the fray, or, you know, conversely, we could also just give those cyclopses to Draconia. It's not outside of the realm of possibility. It's something we could do. Just a thought. No! Well, that is death. I only have myself to blame. Absolutely. I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better, but I did it anyway. Okay, let's just redo that. There's not that much that I have done. Isn't that like 2 turns worth of stuff? Yeah, whatever. And then up we go. Let's just head north. Wait, did I? I think I've automatically picked the other. Well, not automatically, but you know, on instinct picked the other thing. Whatever. Still a reasonable choice, I guess. Right, no, of course. Yes, indeed. So then we get 2 units of lumber over here, and we upgrade the castle. We don't upgrade the castle, we upgrade to a castle. But whatever, this is the current state of affairs. Fine, Gallivant. Actually, hand off the units. Hand them over. Give the skeletons to your sister. Alright. And let's send him to the east. Always on to the east. Presumably he's too far away for Ambrose to reach him this time. But who knows? Who knows? Yes. Indeed. Alright. Well, there we have it. The confrontation between Astra and Becky. I don't even have the blind spell. Whatever shall I do? Let's cast... let's go with Bloodlust on the Phoenixes. And let's try to slaughter the elves. As ever. Well, actually, I guess the druids are higher tier. Whatever, let's go for the elves anyway. The blind! Wait, what? What can I possibly try to do with the druid? Well, there's basically no hope as far as trying to tackle the enemy druids is concerned, so might as well try to shave off a couple of sprites. Do I go north? Do I? No. Let's go through here and deal with what? The 16 enemy unicorns? That's just not gonna fly. Okay, fine, let's try to deal with the elves instead. No counterattack on the sprites. Ah yes, and here's our trump card, the dwarves. Onwards! Oh, squat and brave ones. Well, that'll do, I guess. That'll do. No sprites left. Eliminate the elves. We might just manage this. Okay, more spells. Bloodlust increases the attack, right? Increases the attack. Bless causes the unit to deal max damage. Actually, dealing max damage is probably the way to go instead. Blessed Phoenixes. Also, you know, blessed. 5. All 3 of the... come on. Fine. Fine, let's try to deal with the druids. They're still alive, they're lucky! There are only 13 druids left. Yeah, only 13 druids, that's one way of putting it, I guess. Focus on the druids! Down go the Phoenixes. But we've still got our dwarves, don't we? Come on, blind them! Okay. Let's, hold on. They deal between 2 and 4 points of damage. How about if I bless them? That helps a lot. Now they'll slaughter 7 of the druids. Actually, let's block the druids and focus on slaughtering the unicorns instead. That sounds like a plan. Eep. Madru, no. Almost. It was so close. I mean, I know that's just... I know that's just Becky, but still, come on, it's almost worked out. Blind them! They have been blinded! Yes, and then they have been unblinded. Ah, it almost worked. Yes, had I put Becky behind castle walls, firmly behind castle walls, Becky would have survived. Yeah, I also could have ordered her to, you know, withdraw from battle, but I didn't. Damn you, Ariel. Oh, this defense is just gonna work out in a completely... Oh dear. Yeah, this is gonna be lovely, isn't it? Yeesh. Basically no units, but behind castle walls. Firmly behind castle walls against no flying units. Of course, those druids are going to, as they say, do a number on me, I presume. But, no, that's all the silver lining I can find. That's about it. I'm done. No more ideas whatsoever. Resources. More orcs. 20 more orcs. Unupgraded orcs. That's 70 orcs. The orcish hordes are an interesting sort of a side issue over here. Okay, there's Ambrose over there, sitting pretty in the castle of Sheltenberg. Can we actually take him on? Well, can we? We shall see. Now, first of all, we will actually have to attempt to defend this castle against the enemy forces, mostly the druids. Oh yeah, there's a hole in the castle walls, and of course, I'm left with a single elf. Let's see if copious uses of damage-dealing spells can make up for that. They can't. They just can't. No. It's basically a done deal. It's not gonna happen. It makes sense to put up these token bits of resistance, but at the same time, every time that happens, it's horribly demoralizing because you're fighting a battle you cannot possibly win, even though you know you should, and even though you know you're not gonna win. Druids next to Stonehenge, how appropriate. Alright, and now for the moment we've been waiting for. Can this be done? Can it? I guess. Alright. So here's the plan. First of all, my damage is gonna be limited, but this should work. One unit is gonna die to this? Well, this unit. Okay, fine. We'll see how many creatures in total. Okay, first of all, Blur. I'm sorry, Blah. Second of all, Blind. And third of all, how about we just slaughter all of these guys all at once? Oh, and these guys attack the vampire lords. Well, guess how well that's gonna turn out for them. Do I slaughter the peasants? Oh, this is so silly, so monumentally silly. I'm not sure if attacking the rangers with the bone dragons is actually the right move. They're not all gonna go there. I mean, come on, it's a tier 2 unit. What are they gonna do? I haven't lost a single one yet, thank goodness. Fine, let's deal with the peasants using the liches, the arc liches. Is there anything else I can do? Anything else that would improve my situation? I guess I could cold ray something. I guess I could go with a different one, but I really want to see as much at the same time as I possibly can. But yes, that's a common complaint. I'll have to figure it. I'll keep it this way for this campaign, and I'll think about it for the next one. I guess I could go for, say, 1080 or something. I know that this is tiny, but my goodness. I mean, I see it just fine, but then again, I'm in the minority here. But yes, it's always a trade-off. It's always a trade-off because the lower resolution I pick, the less stuff I'm going to see all at once, and that's well, that's just annoying in practice. Yeah, so basically the best I have to offer is sorry. No, but I'll seriously have to address this at some point. I don't know, the fifth person to mention that, and I guess it is a problem. So as much as I love to be able to see basically half the map all at once, I guess I should just go with, say, 1080p. It's going to be much bigger, and I'll still be able to see a decent bit all at once, though not necessarily everything. But it's still going to be perfectly serviceable, I think. By the way, there we go! It is done! So I've managed to corner this guy, and considering how powerful he was, how much of a challenge this was, I suspect he might just have some artifacts for me. Now, there were losses sustained, I'll grant you that much. 3 Draco Liches, or you know, Bone Dragons as they're called over here. 8 Power Liches. Or Arc Liches? Power Liches, I think. And some Skeletons, 68 of them. However, I do get the Endless Pouch of Gems, so 1 gem per day. The Statesman's Quill, oh, this is brilliant! And now, with the Statesman's Quill, actually it doesn't increase the chance of surrendering, just lowers the cost. But I still think we might possibly, since we're in the area, and I think we have Expert Diplomacy and the Quill, we might as well try to pick up the Bone Dragons from the region and add them to my hero's army. The Spade of Necromancy, oh my goodness, even more skeletons. Does this apply to the results of this battle? I hope. The Armored Gauntlet of Protection, so +1 defense. The Medal of Distinction increases morale by 1. It doesn't increase the morale though, these troops are undead. The Telescope, so we can see further. The Nomad's Boots of Mobility. Arguably the best artifact in the game, the Lucky Rabbits, but we are going to overflow, aren't we? Through Eagle-Eyed Observation, Draconia is able to learn the spell of Lightning Bolt! This is a momentous occasion, ladies and gentlemen. All of those, you know, all of those views, so critical of the Eagle-Eye skill. All of those years and all of those disappointed people. Looking down on it and figuring Eagle-Eye is oh so useless. And yet, what did we need? A lightning-based spell. What did we get? Lightning Bolt. And she's got the Lightning Rod. Plus a lot of spell power. So from this point on, we are going to just obliterate things left and right with the Lightning Bolt spell that we have learned using Eagle-Eye. For once it was useful. It's still terrible in principle. But we got what we needed. Using it. Also 305 skeletons. Raised from the dead. And a level up. Well deserved. Wisdom unadvanced or mysticism unadvanced? How does she not even have wisdom unadvanced? Alright, fine. Teal Fall spells are available to her right now. So in hindsight, getting the 4th Teal of the Mage Guild would have been completely and utterly a waste of time. Because she didn't even have wisdom at a high enough level to learn these spells. But she did have Eagle Eye on Expert. Incredible. My god. And we did overflow. Look at this. There were presumably more artifacts over there. And, well, they're gone. Off into /dev/null. They're nowhere. They're in the void. Because we couldn't fit more of them. Oh dear. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens. But you can't really guard against that effectively now, can you? What are you supposed to do? Just keep those slots free? I did my best, but I'm not gonna toss away the lightning rod, the hammer that gives +5 to attack, or this thing that grants +1/+1 to attack and defense. Come on. And everything else I just got. So yeah, the pouch of crystal and the pouch of gems, I think I'm gonna hand that off to Gallivant. But other than that, we are doing fine. Other than that, we are keeping all the other artifacts. We are keeping this enormous, ever-growing army of the undead, including 621 skeletons, and counting. Yes, and in the near future, presumably, we will add even more Dracoliches to the mix. Let's get the 1st Teal of the Mage Guild. Not that she's gonna learn much of anything over here, although I guess we could cast View Minds, should we so desire at any point. But soon enough, we are going to get the Mausoleum and everything down the line. We will get those resources, and we will most importantly get those Bone Dragons. Can we actually acquire them right now? Our diplomacy is unexpert, and we even have the Statesman's Quill. If not now, then my goodness, when? We're even in the area, as I've already mentioned. We're here. We should at least give it a go. Yes, but most importantly, we have actually dispatched the enemy hero. He was here, he could not have possibly run away because he was in a castle, and we did have a large enough force to actually deal with him. So one of the threats, one of the looming threats that I've mentioned at the very start of this stream is gone. No longer does Elgon need to feel threatened by the presence of that, whatever his name was, Ambrose, by the presence of Ambrose the Knight. And instead he can, I don't know, collect sulfur or something, or fight hordes of mutant zombies in the frozen north. How appropriate, yes, of course. Frozen north, yes. Zombies, I can see that, like Warcraft. Mutant zombies begin to scatter. Do I really want to fight them for experience? Why not? Let's have a go. Obliterated. Yeah, as I've mentioned oftentimes, you take all of these fights that are completely hopeless because you want to deny the enemy resources, but from time to time, you may as well take these fights that are the complete opposite. The ones where you really cannot lose. Might as well. Builds you up. And we can now take leadership on expert. Plow further east, see what we can find over here. Oh, and clear this out, flag the crystal mine. What else, what else, what else? We already visited this, and there's not much we can get here. But why exactly? Because we don't have enough lumber. Typical. Right, and as far as this place is concerned, we can get basically everything here, including the upgraded orcs, which is what we came here for. Orcs. Upgraded to upgraded orcs. Whatever, orc chieftain, as silly as that sounds. We're going to ignore the ogres for now, even though they are quite mighty, and I presumably should take ogres instead of, you know, a handful of goblins. But I presumably should upgrade the ogres first, and I just don't have the resources to waste on that. It's also day 5, so I guess as far as delivering reinforcements is concerned, I could just wait until the next week. Ah, yes, yes, then collect all the orcs again, and then try to deliver them, huh? Oh yeah, that's gonna work wonders. I mean, I could prepare myself for that, I guess. But then, if I do that, then I can't possibly send Jezebel over here. Now wait a minute. A hill fort, doesn't that upgrade the orcs? I think it might. Well, can I access it from here? I don't know. Whatever, let's send it over here, get the orcs, get the reinforcements, deliver them to Elgan, and then, as I have planned before, actually have Elgan, you know, roaming around trying to slaughter everything. He could, for instance, take on lots of red dragons. I don't know about that. That's lots of red dragons, though. It's a sizable force. It's quite a lot. I don't think it would be far off the mark to say that that's too much. I don't think he can take that on. He's not the primary hero. He doesn't have the army. Well, he might have the army. He doesn't have... I like to judge it this way. Do you have at least the count of units of the same tier to match? And he doesn't. He should have, say, lots of Cyclopses. Now, I know that ultimately it's not the only unit you have, but it's a good sort of a ballpark estimate. If you have the same count of the same tier of unit, you can probably take that on, especially with all of those other units added to the mix. But if you don't, my goodness, don't mess with red dragons, I guess. They're the second tier of upgrades out of, well, 3 tiers. It's the only unit that can receive 3 tiers of upgrades. Can I get anything? Not with this count of lumber, I guess. I believe that's a good place to stop, though. This bit has been accomplished. Yes, the threat to the southeast has ultimately not been thwarted. This is still a bit of a problem. If Astra ever decides to venture far enough south, as she appears to be inclined to, then I'm afraid Phineas is going to be in trouble. I can and will get him all the units he can possibly get. Have I run out of gold? What happened? Wait, what? How are the 7 what? I've actually ran out of gold recruiting that. Preposterous. Unacceptable. Hey, that's a lot of goblins, I guess. Well, either way, these are the only units he's got. I'm not sure he's gonna be able to make it, but I'll try to make the best of it. He's gotta hold the fort against Astra. I might as well get some fortifications, see how that pans out. Granted, if more powerful heroes are thrown at him, he's not gonna last. But that's the only area of problems. I do have plenty of castles, I do have plenty of towns, I have retaken Sheltenberg, and I am getting all those wonderful tiers of units from there as well. Soon enough I'll be getting bone dragons from 2 places. I do have Elgon, he's got a powerful army, he's going to receive reinforcements, and once he has them, presumably he can plow through these forces, say take on the wall trolls, possibly add them to his fold, and then find these are not the nomads boots of mobility, they're just regular boots of mobility, I think. Either way, he can clear this out, take care of, I don't know, sorceresses or something. Probably not the green dragons in huge numbers. But he'll be able to clear out a decent bit of this, possibly take some castles. And in general, he will be able to hold the fort in this region, he'll be able to defend. As Draconia, who is getting a bigger and bigger army and possibly might acquire the bone dragons in the area, is gearing up to, well, basically crush everyone and everything beneath her heels. But for now, thanks for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.